So what, just a quick update as to kind of the timing of what you're working on, what you finished, and what's ahead to kind of getting out there and at least getting it running.
Okay, well, we've been concentrating on the landing gear and the hydraulics and chasing leaks. And then the other thing that we're working on too is the electrical system issues. We still have to put the boost pump switches back in. And because originally the boost pumps were controlled by 3 switches, 2 for the wings and 1 for the ferry tanks.
Boost pump for the fuel.
Yeah, but the boost pump switches were also routed, the power was routed out to the pumps themselves by a wafer switch that was connected to the fuel selector valve, so that when you selected tanks, you also selected that boost pump. Well, those wafer switches are not available, and the ones that were in the airplane were non-functional. So we've gone to individual control of each boost pump, and that'll put a little bit more burden on the pilot to make sure that he doesn't have a running pump in an empty tank.
Yeah.
So we're going to modify the pilot's operating handbook accordingly. And this goes in the center console right next to the pilot. And we're going to have these cute little plastic guards over them so that you can't accidentally bump a switch and turn a pump on for a dead. And these have, oops, sorry, butterfingers, high speed, off, and low speed.
Oh, I'll be darned.
Yeah. You only use the low speed at altitude for vapor suppression
Right.
and initial priming. For takeoff and landing, you have it in the high speed position. So, because the spacing of the original mounting bracket was for only 3 switches, and those switches were significantly bigger, we would not have been able to put 5 of those switches in a row. So we've had to upgrade to a little later MS style switch as opposed to an AN 3023-1.
So this is a post-warp switch.
Correct. Much more reliable.
Don't
also.
tell anybody.
No, that's the secret. And we have to get this powder coated and engraved, but we'll use the same artwork.
Yeah, great.
So it'll look
awesome.
Just a safety of flight issue.
Oh, totally. Yeah, we always, that's always.
Safety of flight's much more important than originality.
What's happening up there?
Very little right now.
Are you?
And
you look
the lights in
confused.
the cockpit all work up there.
You look confused. So what's happening?
Not much.
Good, Kermit.
Stuart Broche.
Sorry, Stu. Great, super. So you've been running the switches up and down for the gear. Thanks. So what are you currently focusing on?
The other thing that we've gone through is getting all this overhead stuff for the starters and everything functioning correctly, and cow flaps and wing flaps. And then you can see the gear indicator lights there.
Yeah.
Enunciating the fact that they're all down and locked.
Great.
So we can operate the wing flaps and the cow flaps and the oil cooler doors if you want to hear noise and watch things move.
Yeah, why not? Why not? And we're just really quickly, where are all the controls?
Cow flaps in the upper, purple. Oil cooler doors marked in yellow.
Oh, I see. There you go. Okay, so these are the cow flaps?
Purple ones
Purple?
are the cow.
Yeah.
The lower ones are oil cooler doors,
Okay.
and the upper ones are cow flaps, and then the wing flap switch is
Right here.
right there. And that's an interesting follow-up type of electric switch. You're not moving a hydraulic lever, you're actually moving an electric switch, and that in turn causes the cow flaps to either extend or retract. And you can extend them as far as you want and put it back in neutral if you want. You don't have to have all or nothing.
Right.
But they make a lot of noise.
Cool, let's make some noise.
So go ahead and move the lever, Stuart.
Must have power.
Oh, we need, we have power.
You need to
Circuit
go down.
breaker.
You need to go down. Push it down. You need to go down.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, he's down. Circuit
flap.
breaker.
That circuit breaker's off, Mark?
Yeah, I gotta figure. Let me get the diagram.
They're over here.
Flap.
Pick one.
Kermit at this point is flying along trying to find the manual on the correct page.
This is that guy,
Yeah,
Smiley or whatever he is.
no,
Whatever. front should say wing flaps here.
Nothing's marked. The writing that was there is
that's
now
right.
so faded, you can't read it anymore.
Mark is looking at.
Top along the row from the front.
So they're just not marked right now, huh?
Yeah, the placards are.
All right. Let's see. Flaps.
We got pressure. Oh, that's not. These are electric.
This is purely electric.
Oh, that's the flaps going down. Okay, that's the flaps.
What you really need to do is go outside.
Yeah, exactly. Let's do the
the
cow
action.
flaps right. Let's do the cow flaps so I can. So there's the
Up is open.
switch. Yeah, so you can hear the electric motor running. Those are actually fairly slow, but yeah. So we're putting
You
it.
can't get the engine cowling off unless the cow flaps are closed.
I'll be darned. Cool. Okay. And then the other one you said was like a oil coolers or something?
The
yellow
yellow
ones?
doors.
Yeah. But you don't really see those. Okay, so let me
You have
just
to be
let me go down and we'll check out the flaps, which he put down. And
That's the cow flap.
yeah.
Now, because this airplane's got a thin laminar flow Davis wing, we've
Like
got
a P-51 and a B-24.
yeah, we've got split Fowler flaps to give it low speed maneuverability.
Great.
It's a very, very complex mechanism. And if you come over here and you look up, you can see the double hinge arrangement and the scissors that make all this happen.
I'll be darned.
That's a fairly complex mechanism to rig
No kidding.
and to maintain, as well as the fact that you've got a common flap motor inside the Bombay and then two jack screws that come out and make this all happen. So there's a lot of things going on. Steward, put the flaps up.
Wow.
Put the flaps down. Now, watch the action of this mechanism, including that little fairing.
Right.
A lot of moving pieces.
Oh my God, some engineer sat there for a while pawning his head thinking about that.
So if we go in Bombay here, that's the motor.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Flaps up.
Wow. Oh my God, this thing is so
Now
complicated.
there's an electric brake that holds it in position.
Mm-hmm.
And while there's only one significant gear off of the drive motor, you'll see there's a whole bunch of very thin gears
Right.
up
Oh
there.
yeah.
Well, those drive the limit switches. So
Okay.
you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 reduction gears that cause those two limit switches up there.
Let me get a ladder and get a quick close-up shot. Oops, sorry about that. Let me grab this one up here. Yeah, so this is the flat motor right here. That's the drive to both sides. This is for the main
That's
flat.
the main drive gear right there.
And then these little 5 little frickin' things in there.
Tiny gears. Where's your flashlight?
They get the light a little better there. Isn't that amazing? Huh. Unbelievable. Boy, those actually look kind of flimsy, but actually all they're doing is they're just moving something pretty small.
They're
Is this
just
a micro
moving it.
switch here?
Yeah, those are the limit switches
Right.
right there. And that is a pretty fine adjustment in itself. Of course, the instructions are right there.
Oh my gosh. Unbelievable. Fortunately, we've got great manuals and stuff with American airplanes.
That's true.
You get into some.
We also have a big supply of parts in the desert too.
Yeah, awesome.
We had to replace that flat drive motor because the one that was in the airplane was not functioning correctly.
You know, I don't understand why, everybody's kind of, and you guys especially, you're like the B-25 kings, but the A-26 is such a freaking awesome airplane. I don't know why there's not so many more of them flying.
Well, I think a lot of it is public perception and the confusion between the B-26 Marauder and the A-26 Invader.
Right, yeah.
And the fact that neither of those airplanes bombed Tokyo or flew off an aircraft carrier.
True.
Or were involved in any type of famous Doolittle type raid.
Right.
And the A-26, which was originally designed to replace the B-25 in the South Pacific, turned out to be
Not exactly.
unliked by the crews down there, and so basically was relegated to European action. In fact, your airplane was stationed in France in World War II.
Mm-hmm.
And then when the Marauder was stricken from the records and the Air Force was created in 48 or 49, and the designations were changed, this A-26 became a B-26,
yeah.
and that further led to more confusion.
Totally.
But this airplane's war was really Korea and Vietnam.
Yeah, yeah.
And of course, those two wars are not anywhere near as well publicized or regarded as World War II.
Well, there wasn't as much participation.
That's right. And no really significant efforts. I mean, this airplane as a night fighter in Vietnam was very, very successful in interdicting the supply lines on the Ho Chi Minh Trail and also in Laos and Cambodia, which were we weren't supposed to be there. But it wasn't publicized, and because Vietnam was such an unpopular war, the crews that flew them didn't get much respect or publicity.
And the reason that they didn't really like the A-26 in the South Pacific as much is because they'd been using either B-25 or the A-20 or whatever, and there was a visibility issue, wasn't it, where the engines were located?
Well, part of the problem is the engines are further forward, so instead of being able to look out the right or left side and clearly see your target, now you've got an engine to sell and or a propeller in the way. But the other thing too is because this was really developed as a high-speed attack type airplane, and down in the South Pacific,
dive in and look straight ahead.
Yeah, you're really dealing with low-speed jungle warfare and skip bombing and airfield attacks and things. And the speed of the aircraft was not really a benefit down in the South Pacific. So, and because of the thin Davis wing, you didn't have the low-speed maneuverability that the B-25 could fly pretty damn slow and still do the job.
Yeah. Oh, awesome. So basically, so kind of what's next, and
what's next is finish the electrical in the cockpit.
Right.
Get the boost pumps working. We've got this electrical system here to go. Get the seats in it, and then we can finish up the governor assemblies and the controls out on the engine nose cases. And put the props on it and wake this baby up.
Good.
Now the other thing that still needs to be installed is each of the individual boost pumps has a speed control
like a rheostat.
Rheostat, and while these were adjustable from the cockpit, it was back here behind the pilot's head, and subsequently he wasn't supposed to touch this.
Right, okay.
Well, this still needs to be installed, and the wiring to the boost pumps needs to be completed. And because we're modifying the system slightly with incorporating these 5 switches, I got to draw a new wiring diagram so you have something to go by.
Yeah.
And once we get this done and the pumps are proofed out, then we'll be able to put fuel to the carburetor and make noise.
Oh my God! And so, what did we do as far as fuel cells? So we got original
fuel cells.
Okay.
They've been inspected. They're in good condition.
Right.
They've been preserved by wiping the insides down with oil, so they're good to go, including your your Bombay
Yeah.
ferry tanks too.
Yeah, this
Ferry tank,
Yeah.
singular.
So is there two tanks on each side or
There's
fuel?
2 tanks.
Yeah.
So you've got inboard and what they call aux and main fuel.
Right.
And then you also have a 5th ferry tank here. And really, really late model A-26s were delivered. They did not have a upper rear turret. Sorry. One of the turrets was removed to put another
Right. Yeah.
ferry tank in it. But that doesn't affect you because that
Yeah,
was
yeah,
this
yeah, yeah,
airplane's
yeah.
serial number.
Well, good. So what I need to be doing is, I've been thinking, we decided we're going to go with the OD paint job.
Yep.
We'll have to come up on I do not want it shiny, but maybe we don't want it so.
Semi-gloss.
Yeah, we'll look at it like I'm kind of almost thinking it maybe needs to be a little flatter than the B25, but we'll look at it. We'll do
That's
some paint
controllable.
samples. And then the other thing
John has a picture
is really.
of an A-26 in OD.
Yeah, great. Well, and we knew they had them because the guys that were
So
flying
we
them
have
on
some
the website.
historical information.
But so I've been thinking of, because we don't have any artwork. I'm going to come up with my own artwork.
There
I've
you
already
go.
something I'm coming up with, and I'll have somebody start working on the art thing of what we want to do.
Right.
So I've already got Teresa, my wife's already on 2 bombers, so I'm gonna put her on 3. She's the Piccadilly princess. That was the Valentine's Day present. When y'all did the B-25, she became the Apache princess. And I'm thinking of a little bit of a kind of because she's like an Indian maiden in one of them.
Yeah.
I see in this one she's going to be a little bit of like a cowgirl with like 2 or 3 guns. She's going to be a pistol packing princess.
There you go.
So
There you go.
we'll take a little bit of artistic license and come up and put my wife on the 3rd bomber in my collection. So
There you go.
anyway, well, awesome.
We are making progress.
Yeah, no, it's great.
We are making progress.
Yeah, good. Well, super. Good deal. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it. I look
Okay.
forward to sorry I missed Carl, but anyway, cool, super. We'll see you guys.
All right.
Okay, the next time I come to visit my A-26, it's going to be running. I can't wait.